I work as a reading specialist for a high school, and one thing my students often say to me is that they wonder why the vocabulary I'm teaching them is important. And the vocabulary we're using is vocabulary that is often used in other courses or other texts, or will be useful when they're working later on in life for resumes and memos and other things like that. So one thing that I thought would be helpful would be a program that creates word clouds so that they can see the vocabulary that we're using in the other documents that they are using in their other classes. So one of the ones that I found is called wordsift.org, and in WordSift you can very easily take any passage that you want, and this is a social studies passage from readworks.org, and you simply copy and paste. So I'm going to drag and copy, and then you go over here, and in just this blank area that looks like a piece of paper, you paste that information and you click Sift. It takes a couple of minutes to make a decision as to what the most important words are, and then it shows you those words. And when you drag and hover over them, it will tell you how many times those words are used in the document or the passage, whatever it is that you're using. And if you scroll down, it will also show you a visualization of those words, and you can actually click on those words to see how they connect to other things vocabulary-wise. So in this case, I clicked on monumental or on monument, and it brought up how monumental can equal massive, monolithic, important, significant. So it gives you synonyms, which we also use in our class. It also, if you scroll down, will show you different places in context where you've used that very specific word. It isn't necessarily one of the programs that allows you to change your cloud too much, but it does offer some cloud styles that you can choose based on color. It gives you the opportunity to kind of make them, fit whatever you think would be most aesthetically pleasing. It gives you a few options for that. You can also sort your words, and you can mark your words. So if you have certain words that are part of, for instance, in my school, Marzano and Pickering and language arts, you can click on that, and as you can see, it highlights those words for you. There was only a couple in this particular one. If you go to Marzano and Pickering social studies specifically, then it highlights quite a few more. And then the academic world list gives you quite a bit. So it does offer some of those options. You can also look at it in text view and see such things as your word count, character count, lexical density, unique words, and the readability of it. So it tells you the grade level based on Flash and Kincaid, Coleman-Liao index, and gives you an average grade level for reading ease, reading fluency, and for comprehension. I found that this was helpful because for my students, because it does show them that the words that we're using are words that they're going to use in other situations in their lives, and they can see that these particular words are going to be helpful over time. The ISTE standards that I felt that were covered by this were under the teachers section, and the first is ISTE Teacher 1, facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity, and specifically A, promote, support, and model creative and innovative thinking and inventiveness. And I think that's because using a word cloud is a more unusual way of showing students how their words that they're learning in the vocabulary lessons that I teach are going to assist them in their other classes. It also, under the same ISTE standard, Teacher 1, I think is also B, engage students in exploring real world issues and solving authentic problems using digital tools and resources, because it does answer that question. Why do I need to know this vocabulary? What am I going to do with this later on in life? Because I'm showing them that connection to the real world and to the other classes that they're taking um, now and later on in high school.